It's February 1998, 2 weeks before the start of the Formula One racing season. Backstage at the Royal Albert Hall, preparations are underway for an extravagant car launch. Maverick Irishman and entrepreneur Eddie Jordan owns the last private team to join the Grand Prix circuit. He's better known as a flamboyant showman than a race winner. 115 races and his trophy cabinet is still bare.
Eddie, hi, very nice to see you, Eddie.
This year his sponsors are demanding a win. Enough of the blarney. It's time to put up or shut up.
So tell us the big secret, when are you going to win?
Why do you ask always the difficult questions first? I thought we were entertaining you. You asked me a nice easy one to start with. You know, I've got the best possible opportunity. I've got Damon Hill, who with all this experience, Ralph, who we know has now done a year. The Mugen Honda is just quite a phenomenal engine, and to secure this was a big boost. Now's the time. If we don't do it now, we have to put our seriously thinking cap on.
Eddie, let's hope the 98's your year.
I'm hoping that too, I have to say.
It's a very professional looking show and presentation and everything, but the most important thing and the question that I want to know the answer to is whether the car is going to be quick when it hits the track.
A few hours later, away from the spotlight, on the test track, it's not just Damon Hill who's interested in the car's performance. In spite of Eddie's hype at the launch, designer Gary Anderson is having problems. Winter testing has been grim. Damon is already experiencing problems with the car.
Can I have Damon sat down and Jordan on your knee?
Eddie has persuaded Benson and Hedges to stump up the £5 million he needs to secure former world champion Damon Hill. In return, the sponsors expect maximum publicity at every opportunity. Eddie's other driver is Ralph Schumacher, the kid brother of Michael Schumacher, Damon's old adversary.
Small, yeah?
That's lovely.
No, look good stuff.
Sometimes outside people are a bit confused because they see we are a definitely different team, and maybe the carefree attitude that sometimes we portray might signify a lack of real commitment. They shouldn't do that. That would be a mistake.
For the last 15 years, the serious business of winning races in Formula One has been exclusively dominated by the Big Four: McLaren, Benetton, Williams and Ferrari. This year, the bookies are predicting that McLaren will sweep the board. Along with the teams, the International Press Corps has landed in Melbourne. Eddie is keen to start cashing in on Damon's popularity. The weekend kicks off with a live TV spot.
Damon Hill. Damon is the pad who runs the whole show.
Hi Damon, how are you?
David
Hello,
Coulthard.
David, how are you?
And forget the rest.
We're now in the second segment, so Darryl will introduce David, Johnny and Damon all together. So then we'll ask you to stay on stage, and then we'll have a commercial break, and then...
Stay on stage?
Stay on the stage.
Go on the stage. Go.
Hey, boys, it's Saturday.
Okay, get sickly, man. Look.
It's your wallet I'm after.
I'm terrified.
Would you please welcome to come out here, and all of the guys are very good friends with this guy who owns Team Jordan. I'm referring to Eddie Jordan. About the Jordan team in particular, you've just changed over because Prosper's got the Peugeot engine. You've now gone for Mugen Honda.
Yep.
Is that going to be the make or break, or how much will Damon play a part in that?
How can I answer that? Well, obviously, you know, that was the key thing with Jordan this year. We wanted to have somebody with a lot of experience. Damon is bring a lot of the information that we badly need, and I think he can give us the results that we desperately hope for.
Well, we want to wish you all the best.
But the real Jordan roadshow is back in the garage.
Got to be more in there.
Please. Yeah, but that's right, because one of the problems with these cars...
This is the first ever Grand Prix for rookie mechanic Warwick. He's in charge of refueling the car during the pit stop.
It's his first time at this, isn't it?
Yeah. It shows, doesn't it? It's getting a little bit tippy.
Take me through what your process is.
Oh, hang on. You don't, because I'll confuse myself. I'll confuse myself then, and I've got to try and do it right the first time. Having never done it before, I've got to do it right the first time. So you can't ask me that.
Please.
A few yards away, the paddock is buzzing with celebrities.
God, when do I start? I'm an Eddie Jordan groupie.
But in the pits, Warwick and the crew have no time for stargazing. When every second counts, a pit stop can win or lose a race. Changing the tires takes less than 3 seconds. It's pumping in the fuel that takes time.
Warwick, you useless bastard, get it right next time.
So that's just in front of the red line.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it. I mean, I've got the scales right underneath, so that should be right. Yeah, pretty good. Getting the hang of it now.
Many of these things.
Just give it here.
Okay.
Is there enough there?
Yeah.
Right, I have it nicely.
Put on a horse, mate.
Some people would say I'm a bit of a hustler. I do things differently.
I'm sorry.
Now listen, he's done a deal with the bank.
Formula One's real star has just arrived, and Eddie gets down to serious business with the legendary Bernie Eccleston.
You have to be careful with him because he runs out of money. And
We buy and sell drivers. We sell things or make things or do things, whatever it is.
if Ferrari's here 100 million, look at this. I mean, it's not a big problem.
We're the only people selling here in Melbourne. It's in every bloody shop.
It's the uncertainty that I like. The fact that I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow creates a buzz.
Why do you want to?
Because you're a good bloke.
You are.
It's the qualifying session. The Jordan team has just 1 hour in which to set its best time and secure a position on the grid for tomorrow's race. It's not looking good.
Car looks horrible. He's having to adjust the steering wheel every time he adjusts the throttle pedal. Look at him working away on the wheel, and that's the difference.
The car's problems are now obvious to everyone.
It's hard, but you're still 1 second down, and that's just at the split point. The car looks horrible.
You've got to get to the corner and control here, yeah? You've got to control, you're losing time.
Are we in the shade, Trevor? It's very early days.
Actually, what I asked.
I'm not interested in what you're asked. That's what you get.
Are you disappointed with the performance?
No, I'm not. You are a bugger. Bastard.
Right, but are you doing the new car? Put him down.
You have a lot of spies in our team.
No.
Yes.
Are you or aren't you?
I don't know yet. No. Scientifically prove it to me. Show me, black and white, this is quicker than this because of this, and this costs this. Boom. Well, it's the first of the new season's qualifying times. 9th and 10th. You know, a new engine partner, a new driver lineup, a lot of new things in the team. It could have been a lot worse. Actually, I think I'm on balance. I'm moderately happy. Was never modest, moderate. Complete choice of wrong word. Leave me alone, will you?
The Jordan mechanics work late to try and improve the car. But in Formula One, there are no quick fixes.
It's hard to describe. Wanting success, I wouldn't say it's desperate, but really I suppose it is desperate. I really desperately want to win, to be successful, and to be world champion.
When are we going to get the first win, Eddie? When are we going to get the first win? Phoenix win!
He's got more power than the Pope.
With an hour to go until the race, preparations are well underway. Everyone is nervous, especially Warwick.
What's this one? There's a copy. There's you on that. Oh, on that.
Radio check, Damon. Radio check.
Still haven't got turn one very good yet. I know I could do better there.
I think I'm a little bit nervous, but first race is always difficult, you know. You come here full of expectation and reality sets in and you're 9th and 10th on the grid, and sometimes you want always more, and that's not what we're having at the moment.
I want you to ask you to leave now so they can start the race, thanks.
In come the marshals' boards, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go, 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 go. And Hakkinen gets a good start. David pulls across in front of Coulthard. Schumacher gets in front of, there they go through the McLarens. Look at Frenson's red car. Damon in 7th position makes the first pit stop of the leading cars.
Warwick is primed for Damon's first pit stop. Warwick's refueling is a success.
Business! Flat wasn't open.
But it's the team's only consolation for the rest of the day.
And off goes the Jordan.
Within 2 laps, Ralph's race is over. His mistake will cost Eddie £100,000 in repairs. Damon only manages a disappointing 8th place.
As we speak, the bits up on Ralph Schumacher's car are returning. He made a bad start, got caught up in bad traffic and made a mistake and was out of the race after 2 laps, and doesn't give you a lot of confidence.
No points and no one feels like celebrating. But it's Gary Anderson's birthday and tradition prevails. Eddie grew up in Dublin, in the house where his mum Eileen still lives.
Now, will you have a hot scone?
Mum, just relax, relax.
If you let the sideburns go much more, they'll come in as a little moustache. You think they add to your beauty?
Well, I didn't say that. I just thought it's different.
Well, I think it's time now to get rid of them, Eddie.
Okay, Mother.
On television now, they look like a black mark across your face.
Things have changed. You cannot tell your kids what to do.
Even across the golf course, they'll shout, "Oh, tell Eddie to get rid of those things on his face." I have a lot to put up with about you and the golf club.
Yeah, we're sure you're afflicted, God love you.
What?
You're
Yes.
afflicted.
A bit.
A bit.
A bit.
He began work as a bank clerk, buying and selling cars in his spare time. Soon he was racing them, and from there, it was a short step to setting up his own team. 30 years later, this young boy's obsession with cars has made him a multi-millionaire.
I remember our very first car. I could even tell you the registration, ZU8484. I suppose I was about 10 or 11. It was a Morris Minor, 1000, black. And the idea of having a car was such a thrill. I mean, you couldn't wait. I used to hardly sleep at night to get up to look out the window to see if it was still there. This was my bedroom here. I used to be able to get out.
Yeah.
You took the drain pipes, they used to go up that way, and then I used to have to get out.
You knotted the sheets together and slid down them.
Yeah, but I was an active young man. I needed to have some action.
I know. You're still active, aren't you?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Whilst Eddie and his team fly around the world, it's a very different story for the race cars. The chassis, engines, and all the race equipment is loaded onto a convoy of trucks and driven the thousands of miles between races.
Just taking the cigarette brandings off the truck, because when we get to France, we're not allowed to run with cigarette advertising at all, so have to wait till we get to Italy to put them back on.
It's a relentless journey, and when things go badly, it's a very long haul.
Oh, and he's gone round. Oh, that's blown in.
Brazil, there are no points, and none at Argentina.
I'm definitely not happy with the car. I can't get what I want out of the car, so until I can do that, I can't get the best out of myself.
Gary Anderson's car is just not fast enough. At Imola, the results go from bad to worse.
Oh, big one, and that's Schumacher.
Ralph's got some kind of strange problem in there.
Spain is a disaster.
How do you rate Jordan's season so far?
Pretty appalling, really, but anyway. Okay. Very difficult. So, oh, you've asked me that. Start.
I asked you that.
Oh, no, we start again.
No, we like that answer.
No? So why not say?
By the time the Jordan cars turn up in Monaco, things are desperate. It's the team's worst ever start to a season. 5 races down and not one championship point. The drivers, mechanics, and worst of all, the sponsors are unhappy. Morale is at rock bottom.
Hard decisions have to be made somewhere along the line, and I'm not quite sure that Eddie Jordan is the strong figurehead. He's a likeable figurehead. He's a nice man, but whether he's hard enough to beat the table and make the hard decision, I'm not sure, because he's a bit of a flibbertigibbet in many ways, in that he finds it hard to focus on one thing for more than about 30 seconds at a time, and then he's off.
Eddie's crucial engine deal with Honda is in jeopardy. Mr. Honda has flown in from Japan to assess the situation. Eddie desperately needs to finish a race in the top 6 to score a point, but it's not looking likely.
It always takes more than you think to achieve success in Formula 1, to actually win races. Because even when it's going all your way, even when you've got the best car, and even when you've got the best engine, and even when you've got the best drivers and everyone's working well, it still goes wrong. It's always a little bit more difficult than you thought before.
It's an awful place to do badly at, because the whole world's looking at you, and you know, you're just in the world's biggest goldfish bowl almost, and there's nowhere to hide. And you know, for the first time ever, the whole of the Jordan family is here. The matriarch.
That's your man Coulthard, isn't it? And the girlfriend.
Eddie's mum, his wife Marie, and 3 of their 4 children are here in Monte Carlo for the race. Damon and Ralph have qualified badly and are boxed in behind a dozen other cars.
They're off!
Neither cars improve their position in the opening laps, and the narrow streets of Monte Carlo make it virtually impossible to overtake.
Damon's looking a little bit raggedy through the corners, so I'm wondering if there's something wrong with his car.
Yeah, you can see the 2 Jordans running together. They're really not handling well around here. Jordan have Ryan Giggs with them this weekend, and somebody very unkindly said, at least there's something in the team that can take a corner. Ralf Schumacher clearly unhappy with something at the back of the car, all having a look and not rushing to fix it, probably internal. So Ralf now retires from the race.
The McLarens steal the show, while Damon Hill finishes 4th from the back.
What have you learnt from this weekend? I've learned how to endure very severe amounts of pain.
You said last night that you are tired of finding problems, you now want to find solutions. How close are you to finding solutions?
There will be some changes. There will have to be some changes. Some of them may be radical.
Are you talking about changes in the design of the car, or are you talking about changes in personnel?
I'm really open-minded. It's not, you know, there's no quick fixes. I mean, you can be very easy. I know in certain sports the easiest thing is just sack the boss. In this case, it's me, so it's probably quite difficult, I suppose, sack the designer, which Gary Anderson, for me, has built stunning cars in the past, and I happen to believe, you know, that conceptually what we have is a very good product. I don't think it's a question of taking out a big guillotine and killing half the team. That's be ridiculous, but certainly at the moment the speed is lacking, and it's the speed that wins races.
of the British Grand Prix, Eddie Jordan is putting on a brave face for the sponsors at the traditional Stow Ball. But the crisis at Monaco has forced his hand, and he's hired a new chief designer to work alongside Gary Anderson.
I believe this is a great partnership for Jordan. And it'll take a little bit of time. Of course, feathers will be ruffled, but that's the way the nature of the business is. And providing they're only feathers, then it's positive.
Hi, Mike.
In fact, 4 weeks after new man Mike Gascoigne's appointment, Gary Anderson hands in his resignation.
You can always see things straight away that you want to change, if you want to do better or that aren't done right. But having said that, you've got to make sure you've got the full facts. There's also a fundamental philosophy thing in the balance of the car, the way the car's designed aerodynamically at the rear with the way the car works at the rear, that I think fundamentally might not be correct, and it's something that's very easy to look at, and short term is the biggest priority for me to go and look at. What I need is, if there is anything very short term that can be increase the performance, increase the speed of the car. Yeah, we've got to do it immediately. Obviously, yeah.
Silverstone is home to the Jordan team, and it's their busiest race of the year. Damon's popularity at his home Grand Prix is overwhelming. 250,000 racing fans are here to see him. Traditionally, Silverstone marks the halfway point of the season. The Jordan team is already a long way behind the front runners McLaren and Ferrari. Qualifying day begins badly when the engine won't even start.
Somebody dicking this button. Somebody hit the wrong button.
The weather forecast is now predicting storm conditions for tomorrow's race. But come rain or shine, Eddie's press and PR commitments cannot be avoided.
We'll be there from 4:30 to 5:30, something like that.
Yeah, well, I'll come over and see it. I just need to do a few
okay,
things
sure,
here.
Sure. All right, yeah.
And when you get something to eat, I'll be straight over.
All right, great, thanks.
Where?
3 o'clock, Radio 5 Live. It's live.
I think we need to start getting some points. I think a podium is out of the question at the moment, and I think you have to analyse where you are in the state of not just life, but certainly in this race. Points would be very, very welcome.
What about the future of the drivers driving with you? Will you stick with those drivers?
I've got a mixture. In fact, I've got Damon Hill and Ralf Schumacher. In Ralph's case, he just needs to stay on the track a little bit longer, and that will help his cause no end. Particularly, it'll also give me some peace with the sponsors, etc. But you know, life hasn't been easy for the last 6 months.
As the storm clouds gather, this is all Eddie needs. Ralph's agent, Willy Weber, has turned up in the garage to talk about next year's contract.
Really, you don't need anything. Remember the heart. You know, the pumping? Pump, 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 pump. The blood level.
Willy is notoriously difficult to deal with. He also represents Michael Schumacher. And to add insult to injury, he's wearing Ferrari team colours in the Jordan garage.
He's crying.
Eddie already pays Ralph £1 million, and he's beginning to run out of patience.
I need Willie not to be playing games. I just want to be very clear and very straight, and I think he will be. Huh?
We don't want to play games, we just...
Okay. Well, I just need to make a better car.
Qualifying gets underway, and almost immediately, Ralph stalls. Under the rules, he has 15 minutes to get back on the track in a spare car. The spare is set up for Damon. It's a frantic scramble, and Ralph only just makes it. Almost immediately, he is disqualified for a technical infringement. Ralph will have to start tomorrow's race from the back of the grid. Jordan's hopes for tomorrow's British Grand Prix are now pinned on Damon.
We can put 10 degrees.
In the back of our minds, no matter what we might be saying otherwise, and still have this addictive, compulsive mentality, which is that we keep coming back for more. No matter how many times we're disappointed, we keep coming back in the hope that it'll work out right one day. And usually, if you keep doing that, it will work out right. And there's one short way of not getting there, and that's giving up. If you don't give up, then you've always got hope.
Another public appearance for the sponsors. In spite of the rain, Damon's fans are out in force.
A nice quiet introduction from Eddie as usual. Now, come on, Eddie. Are you pleased with today or what?
Am I allowed to talk about Ralph? I think he's back there struggling to try to keep in the race, never mind to get into it, but...
What's it make you feel like? March. Damon's going to bring us there.
It's astonishing. It always takes my breath away, because I don't know quite how to react to it, to be honest.
Because he's got to feel the vibe, man. You know, he's got to have the vibe.
We've got to give him the horsepower and you've got to give him the vibe. So I think between you and us, we've got to give him a big day tomorrow. Damon, it's where we rely on you, Damon, so let's deliver if we can. Thank you.
I mean, you need publicity and it's all good, but you know, as far as there's places and times to do it, and it isn't in the garage when it's going to be a wet race. We haven't scored a point. You know, we're at the bottom of the World Championship table. I think, you know, people will concentrate. Eddie's the first one to ask everyone if they're focused about things. Well, I don't think this team's very focused, and that's part of the problems the team's got, to be brutally honest about it.
Girls, Eddie, can you have a good
There's half the boys, you know, looking at three, you know, very attractive pairs of tits, but they're not doing their jobs, are they? You know, I mean, we got 2 or 3 hours before a motor race, and you know, I mean, it's good, it keeps morale up and that, but there's a place and a time, and you know, this isn't it, in my opinion.
Well done, girls. Round of applause for the girls, eh? What about it?
Damon and his engineer are still trying to second-guess the British weather. They have to decide whether to start the race with wet or dry tyres. The forecasters are now predicting a wet race.
We're just doing a photo shoot with all 4 British drivers, and they're all sort of just in position.
Are they all there?
Yeah, they're all there.
It's not going to be anything. Could we possibly go for 5 minutes? Since got Johnny and Lucy.
I'm sorry I can't engineer the car for you because I've got to do some photographs again.
It's the last one. It's Silverstone. They just asked if they could do it.
Sorry, Damon. They're just around the corner. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, all this way.
Did you hear that? I said if the forecaster says it's going to be wet, I guarantee it'll be dry. And I would say it's more likely to be dry now than it is wet. The rain, clouds have gone too high. It's quite breezy, blowing it away.
If it's windy, it should be okay.
Because the wind will dry. Actually, it's not cold. Who said anything about braking? Okay, in this case, you have to take those risks.
So I'm allowed to take risks?
I'd never said you're allowed to take risks. It's like everything. If you get through it, you're a genius. If you don't, you're a complete tugger.
Wet or dry tyres? They have to decide now.
Pit lane is now closed. Pit lane is now closed.
Ralph's crew go for the dry option.
5 minutes. 5 minutes to go.
While Ralph goes to the grid, Damon is held up.
First, I have to present Murray Walker with an award or some sort of presentation for talking for 50 years. He could have commentated on your entire life.
We've got Damon Hill here with a nice painting for you, Murray, to commemorate your 50 years of talking to everybody.
It's an honour for me to be the one sort of chosen to present you with this, and I think the face says it all, doesn't it, really? And congratulations. Keep talking.
And good luck today, Damon. We want to see you do it.
And back to you in the studio.
At last, Damon can focus on the race. Apart from his radio link to the pit crew, he is now on his own.
Humidity is still dropping, so it doesn't look like it's going to rain. I mean, we made those adjustments under the understanding that we would be going to the grid when it's raining on wet tyres, didn't we, really? And it's not like that now. Conditions have changed.
Silverstone, Hakkinen lead, Schumacher second, Villeneuve is alongside, and coming through on the inside, it's one of the salvos.
Damon kept his position and Ralph overtook 5 people at the start, best start he's ever done in the season.
That's Ralph Schumacher, who's come up through the field from last but one on the grid. Ralph Schumacher has made a good start. Oh, and that is Damon Hill. Damon Hill as he spun off. Damon Hill was in 8th position.
Scored it, I'm out.
Damon's British Grand Prix is over. And just when it couldn't get any worse,
Look at the rain at Silverstone. It really is getting very, very bad now.
Pits, Ralph, pits.
Into the pits comes Ralph Schumacher.
He'll need the full wet to have any chance of staying on the racetrack, and that's really taken away Jordan's opportunity for some points, unless a lot of cars fall off the road. Was that David Coulthard spinning off? I think that's Coulthard's just gone off.
Oh, and off
Trulli, isn't it?
spins Jarno Trulli.
That's the McLaren. Hakkinen off the road. Ralph Schumacher's had a wonderful afternoon. He's really been going well. He's now trying to take 6th position.
Come on, Ralph, for fuck's sake, man.
It's all down to little Ralph. Little in terms of age, not in terms of size. He's a big man and he's through. He's through.
Steady, boy, steady. Tony, I need this fucking point. I need this fucking point so bad.
Ralph Schumacher finishes 6th and gets Jordan's first World Championship point.
1 point! I've never had to work for a point so hard in my entire life.
Mate, we broke the duck.
Now we can start ripping into them.
Absolutely.
Jesus. What a drama. Every time you're supposed to do it, you fuck it up, and every time you're not supposed to do it, you do things like today. I'll have to talk to you about a contract next one. Shit. Where's Willie? Normally he's here when you do well.
It's gonna get more expensive.
No, it's not.
Sorry, Damon the jungles. We asked the question. David
How difficult is it to sort of hide your disappointment?
I don't actually bother hiding it anymore. I just, I go, if I felt like I had cost the team any chance of getting a point, you know, I think I would have felt a lot worse. But the fact is that Ralph saved the day and got us something, and that's, you know, we got that little monkey off our back now. We've got a point, and I don't feel too bad now.
Eddie has flown out to his Spanish villa to join his family on holiday.
I think it's incredibly peaceful. Bearing in mind what I do for a living, which is noise and more noise, this is something that I've always felt that I needed to have. I need to live by water. I don't know why. I was brought up in Ireland on water, and as a result I feel a huge attraction to it. And they come every year and they make the same paella. It's the best paella I've ever in my life tasted. He minds it like a shepherd. This is another extreme. It's sort of Life in the old days. Same flies. Same mosquitoes.
Get away, machine.
Eddie and Marie are throwing a party for the team who have been testing the car in Barcelona. Everybody is invited. Damon turns up, but Ralph has declined the invitation. Since Ralph's spectacular drive at Silverstone, he has been headhunted by Williams, who are offering him over £2 million to drive for them next year. Ralph and his agent have started legal proceedings to break their contract with Eddie. Whatever happens in the law courts, there are still 4 races left this year. Next up, Belgium. On the world's most difficult race circuit, Damon's driving skills and the improved car deliver a stunning qualifying time. He lies third, ahead of Ferrari's Michael Schumacher. Michael needs to win this race to keep his championship hopes alive. Damon has no intention of making it easy for him.
It's a huge boost for the team overall and great boost for the Jordan people.
So you're third on the grid. What chance of third at the end of the race?
Sounds very nice to me. If you can organise it, Louise, I'll accept it.
Which set of tyres do you want? There's 2 sets of tyres.
The rift with Ralph doesn't help tension in the garage, and tempers are frayed.
That's 27, you should be seeing.
Say the set number.
216. 216 on the car. Set 216. That's right, isn't it?
218.
Why 218?
The hotter.
Okay. Fucking Jesus.
Go, just leave it. Go with 216.
They're taking them off now, Dave.
Sam, you need to get a move on, mate. Come on.
I know, Trevor. That's fine.
What's it go?
That's it,
Go.
mate.
What's it go?
Slick is intermediate now, right now, isn't it? We could go quicker now.
Huh? Too many fucking people telling me what to do.
I know.
Okay, to the grid now, Ralph. Yeah, straight to the grid.
Pit lane is now closed.
To make matters worse, the bad weather is causing interference on the crucial pit-to-driver radio links.
The radio today is just terrible.
What did you say? I couldn't hear anything.
What I said was, the radio has been terrible.
That confirms it. It's terrible.
Okay, well done everyone, and good luck for the race.
Yes! Yes! It's go! This is the worst start for a Grand Prix that I have ever seen in the whole of my life.
Total carnage.
Are you okay, Damon? Are you okay, Damon?
I don't think I hit anything, but you better just give it a check, because there's a lot of debris.
What's happened? You okay?
My car, I was really lucky.
Thankfully, no one is hurt, and the 2 yellow Jordans return unscathed for the restart.
Fingers crossed, everybody. We don't want another bad start like that one. 18 cars on the grid. There's Damon Hill. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Go, 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 go! Hakkinen leads away again. Irvine again comes up the left. Damon Hill has made an excellent start and leads! And leads! Damon Hill gets ahead of everybody at last course. Schumacher going round the outside. So now the battle is on between Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher, and Damon leads the race for the first time since Hungary last year in the Arrows.
Damon takes the lead, but Michael Schumacher is right behind him.
Michael Schumacher needs the World Championship points. I think Michael will be thinking, I'm not going to take a wild move to get past this man. I've got a long afternoon ahead of me. But here's a good chance. Up the inside into the bus stop. He has track position. Squeezes Damon over a little bit. Michael Schumacher, a textbook overtaking opportunity as he came out of that 6th gear Blanchimont corner. Much, much better.
Michael's maneuver pushes Damon into 2nd place, but then...
Oh, God! Michael Schumacher hits David Coulthard and is out of the Belgian Grand Prix.
Damon, Michael is out. Michael is out. You're leading the race. You're leading the race. Michael is out.
Now suddenly, the 2 Jordans are racing each other for 1st and 2nd place.
Damon, Damon. Ralph behind you is a lot quicker. Ralph is 5 seconds a lot quicker.
Ralph, at the moment you're about 3 seconds left faster than Damon, so you can catch him. Just push like hell. Push as hard as you can in. You can catch Damon. You can catch him and you can win.
Ralph is now doing the same lap times as you. Ralph, same lap times. Keep pushing.
Now got the two Jordans line astern. And the man in second place, we believe, is leaving the team with a little bit of acrimony. Is he going to pay any attention to team tactics? Because if they race each other, they could both end up off the road.
Damon senses the danger.
I'm going to put something to you here, and I think you better listen to this. If we two race, we could end up with nothing. But it's up to Eddie. You've got to tell Eddie. We can come in, if we don't race each other, we've got an opportunity to get first and second. That's your choice.
Eddie's reply is swift.
Ralph, you cannot overtake Damon. Okay, that is team order. You cannot overtake Damon. You heard me before, didn't you, Ralph, about overtaking Damon? You heard that, didn't you? Get that, Ralph? Did you hear me? Ralph, acknowledge.
Yes, Sam.
3 laps remaining, and if you haven't got your heart in your mouth, you jolly well should have.
This is the last lap, Damon.
He is in the lead, into the bus stop. He is yards away from the finish, followed by his teammate, Ralf Schumacher. Get ready, it's Britain and Ireland. And Damon Hill wins in Belgium. Fantastic. Well, what an unbelievable race. And Eddie Jordan at last after all his efforts. And congratulations, Damon Hill, winner of the Belgian Grand Prix of 1998. Yes!
Well done, Ralph. Great result. You're not looking very happy about it at the moment.
Well, no, I'm very happy for the team and somehow as well myself. You know, sometimes you see the possibility to win a race and then you're second and you don't realize what you achieved. But at the end, I mean, I'm very happy for the whole situation and I'm still happy with the second place.
Now you can see what we had to put up with.
Thanks. We might just get...
Hello? Hello?
Nick?
Yeah.
Just put the old can down a bit, mate. We'll have that afterwards. Or you can...
This is terrible. Hey, killer.
Hello, Daddy.
Hey. Did you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What have we got going on here? Jeez. Jesus.
Yeah?
This was a surprise, wasn't it? Shane. That's been a while coming, hasn't it?
What's the deal?
What deal?
The deal with McLaren.
Oh, a deal with McLaren.
What's the deal?
Did you? I'll tell you the deal when no one's listening.
The camera's on.
And Ralph was distraught. Did he think he could have won it? Yeah.
Ralph
He
wasn't.
knew he could have won it or thought he could have won it?
He didn't like being told what he had to do.
So did you have to shout at him?
I think it was made very plain and very clear to him as to what he had to do.
Oh, God!
He drove all 3 years, isn't he?
He gets a little bit irate here, doesn't he? Let's have a look at this. Ooh, has he got a bit of a look about him?
Look, wow.
I'm going to be live for the next 20 minutes. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, good morning. Nice to talk to you. Michael was obviously incensed because he thought that he had the 10 points in the bag. He and I, in fact, had a little discussion. I was not at all pleased. He had told his brother to forget about my contract that I believe that I have. And Michael criticised me as being a money grabber or only interested in money, and I thought that he should be the last person to say something like that. So, thank you very much. Yeah, that's me. Breakfast time. Right, this is the end. Hello? Giselle, will you give over? Jesus, I've got a camera sticking down my neck. Can't have any breakfast. I have Marine pyjamas I've never seen in my life before. What? You had a good laugh. Oh, what, giving Michael a slag? Right. See ya. I've got another one coming through right now. Thanks, bye, well done. Guardian. That's even better. That's the shot.
What's that?
It's Damon's wheel from the second stint in the race. Lady Luck was definitely on our side.
Well, the tyre was going down all the time. A couple of more laps, he would have, the tyre would have probably gone off.
All these gaps is where all the air leaks are.
Air can leak out of all these gaps now.
So what's that wheel called?
The lucky wheel.
Yeah.
So, just walk in and go to
2 days after victory at Spa, Eddie returns to the Jordan factory.
Where's she going?
This is ours. One more time.
When you make a mistake and you don't do a good job, you're going to be criticised. Similarly, when you do a good job and you are successful, you get the glory. So you put yourself through enormous pain and suffering to achieve that.
But you've won.
That's only the start of it. That just means that we've won and it's in the bag and it's in the book. And the next thing is now to try and win a championship and to do it again.
And when does it stop, Eddie?
Never stops. It never stops. Never stops.
My baby is going.
2 weeks later, Ralph signed for Williams. Damon Hill will race with Jordan again this year. By the end of the season, the Jordan team finally became one of the big four.